And microphone test 1 2. If you can hear me, go ahead and give me a comment in the live comments section. Guys, you know this is a live show because I will be responding to your comments. Let me know that you hear me all right. And I see that we have stream strength, so we are live. Welcome, lovely audience. It's so great to see you again. Welcome back to another edition of the mining market signal. Let me jump straight into the fear and greed index, where we can see that we're still somewhat close to that extreme fear range. Not exactly the same as before, but we are now into fear. So no longer below a score of 25. Hey, I see T-Bone Gaming in the comment section. Hello, Bitcoin Jake. Thanks for being here. Zotrak, Kyle, and Kevin. Thanks for being tuned in, guys. Appreciate you being here live. Thanks so much for, again, hitting that like button, sharing this video while it's live so we have a brilliant, vibrant conversation in the live chat. The way we have things going right now, I am not forcing only, I'm not requiring only super chats to be able to interact with the show live. I'm taking everybody's questions as we go. Of course, that's going to change at some point in the future, not today, but I'm glad we don't have to use that to manage comments. If you're new to the channel and you're just tuning in, all you have to do is be a subscriber and you can chat. So join the fun. Guys, thanks for being here. Jump back out of the way here, though, and we've gone from extreme fear into the fear range for the market sentiment right now. And we're going to see that there's a lot of really good news that shows that there's good reason to be moving towards greed, or at least that typical investors and retail participants in the market are going to be moving towards greed. On that note, I brought up the word investor. Is this investment advice? Is this legal or business advice? Let me think about that. No, it's not. Please do not believe falsely that this is some kind of legal, financial, or business advice. This is just a YouTube show where we talk about cryptocurrencies and we take a look at the charts, and I offer a little bit of the insight that I have or the opinions that I have, and then, you can tell me I'm full of it and then I'm ugly or whatever. Like that's the half the fun of the internet, right? Is that you can pretty much say what you like. I'm largely not going to censor you either in the comment section. Obviously, keep it civil, guys. Be cool. Be nice. If we were face to face, there's some things you wouldn't say to me, so obviously try not to say that sort of thing in the comment section either. The Deadwood, thanks for saying hello in the comment section there. Good to see you. But fear and greed, we're moving towards just fear. Yesterday's score was 27. Today we're at 26. And we're kind of still generally moving towards greed and a little bit away from fear. But still, this is, as we zoom out over the last 3 months, we've been kind of in this extreme fear range for a long time now, right? Like we kind of live here now in this market. Hey, the Deadwood is saying that the sound is good here, sir. Hey, I really appreciate that, guys. I went out of my way to make sure that the playlist was the right volume. And then when I did the right volume, YouTube gave me a copyright strike on my last video because the playlist that I had that they never complained about before apparently contained a bad piece of music. So I've totally revamped that, and I'm using music that YouTube provides. So if I get another copyright strike, it's really like they're copyright striking themselves, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Thanks for the feedback, though. Appreciate it. All right, so guys, moving from the fear and greed index, let's go over to TX Street and just take a quick look at what the current gas price is on Ethereum. And it looks like right now, even though on, say, like CoinGecko, we're going to be told right here, we're going to be told that gas is 16 Gwei. Well, I don't know about that. It's going to give us kind of a range, right? 12 Gwei, 16 is going to be the average, but fast will be 21. And the beautiful thing about TX Street, you can see a link down in the description of this video, is that it'll show us, there you go, 29 Gwei, 26 Gwei. Nah, see, that's just it. CoinGecko is giving us an estimate. That's not the real world number. You need to use tools that give you a better idea of what the real world costs are. So there you go. This is what's happening on the ground right now. 25 Gwei, 24 Gwei, well above 21, the average that they're talking about. And clearly everybody's in a rush. There must be some kind of like a rush on the different markets or on the different dexes. Clearly there's a lot happening right now. Right now, the mempool is still 75,000 plus strong, waiting for those transactions to be pushed through, versus Bitcoin's roughly, almost 600 in the mempool right now. Getting pretty crowded on Bitcoin as well. Clearly, there's a lot happening in the markets. Just back in the all across all cryptos. Zotrak says in the comment section, BTC's mempool is empty. I wish I had a reverb machine, guys. Seriously, I need to get more effects in my panel. Empty, empty, empty. Did you hear it in your head? I heard it too. It was a cool comment, though. not totally empty, right? But by comparison, you look at how many transactions Ethereum pushes through, and good grief, it's obvious that there's a reason that DeFi lives on Ethereum and why it's going to live on EVM-based chains for the foreseeable future. Clearly, there's throughput here. Yeah, it almost broke with CryptoKitties back in the day. It almost broke again with the run on NFTs, and then almost broke again with Uniswap during DeFi Summer 1.0 last year. We're just now getting back to relatively reasonable prices, but we can see there are costs, right? The other day when we looked at our contract fees, we were around $4 and change to do the median contract fee. Look at this now, almost $12 to push through a contract. Hey, Sam, thanks for saying hello in the comment section there. Zotrak is following up that comment by saying 600 transactions is less than one block of transactions. Well, okay. Just saying, yeah, relative to Ethereum, certainly, guys. That's why I like seeing this comparison side by side. TX Street also supports Bitcoin Cash and Monero, but I don't really see a need for us to look at those transaction volumes side by side next to Bitcoin and Ethereum. I just think that as far as this representation of data, it's so much more meaningful to see these two networks because of what we do with them. Monero is great for what it does, but it generally doesn't get very congested, and there's no DeFi layer running on top of Monero yet, so not really an issue. Crypto Bedell is asking, where do we get that shirt? Oh, yeah, this one. So it's kind of funny. This is from a company that's now defunct, but I'm thinking, I might go ahead and make a limited edition just to this one. I love it so much, right? So it's all about making sure that you don't have data loss, catastrophic data loss, by making sure that you back up your local hard drives, and ideally you go to a secure cloud. Guys, I'm looking at doing potentially in connection with the Freedom phone that I sell at mineyourbiz, or the de-Googled phone that I sell on mineyourbiz. When we finally rebrand it, I'm looking at doing some kind of fully encrypted cloud that is a premium service on top of that. Not sure, still kind of mulling the idea over, but you guys let me know if that's something that you're interested in. Maybe it'll be part of a combo deal where we do some kind of a Patreon or something for the channel down the line. Guys, I'm not in any rush to do this. I'm just exploring tools that I use for myself on a regular basis and asking myself, could I make this more valuable for other people? And if so, right, who's really interested in that? Maybe you guys tell me in the comment section. Don't want to bore you with that right now. Maybe I'll do more media related to that in the future. But now that you just mentioned the shirt, it kind of spurs that whole train of thought. I think I'll probably just make this design available over in the Mind Your Biz store or on Amazon. But thank you, really appreciate that. I love this shirt. It's kind of like a muscle tee too, right? Kind of tight, extra medium size, so to speak. So it's one of my more favorite shirts. Anyway, so back here on TX Street, we see, 23 Gwei. We saw just a minute ago. I mean, unless my eyes were playing tricks on me, I saw 27 Gwei before finalization of that Block 29. There you go. Yeah, 29, almost 30. It could be over 30 tonight. There's a lot going on. There you go. There's a lot going on tonight that is clearly costing a lot, right, on the networks. There's a lot of trading happening. Not as much volume behind the Bitcoin moves as people are hoping for with that price reversal that we've been talking about the last couple of days. And we'll touch on that in a minute as we get towards the Bitcoin chart section, right, where I bust out my crayons and draw lines on charts. So anyway, I'm excited for that, though. So we're adding a couple of indicators onto that chart that I think will just help things be a little bit easier to read. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for being here live right now. Thanks so much for sharing the video as we go. We've taken a look really briefly there to see the real world cost of transactions on Ethereum and the real world cost right now of transactions on Bitcoin. The median fee, certainly on Bitcoin in US dollar value, is extremely cheap right now. Very good time to be doing, for example, your Whirlpool mixes or any other kind of, coin join. There you go. Any other kind of coin join implementations that you may be interested in doing, or operations you may be interested in doing with your Bitcoin that you hold non-custodially. It's at times like this that you should consider doing it, right? Or even less expensive than right now. But comparing that to, say, like Ethereum, you can't time the market and say, well, you know what? I'm going to wait until prices change on the for gas, right? Because I don't really want to do this transaction. You can't make that decision. There might be a trading pair that you have to press buy on. You might need to smash buy something at the market's price right now and just market buy something and you don't get to choose what the gas price is if you're looking at something that is attractive right now and you can't wait, or you need to put in an order, right? A limit order right now because you see a trend approaching your target, right? There's not, you don't have a lot of options. So I think there's a reason that we see these gas prices kind of giving us a better indication of what's actually happening in DeFi right now. I think if we also narrow this down just to some of the other DEXs and AMMs, that would probably give us a good idea of, like, for example, what's coming off of 1inch, what's coming off of Curve and Uniswap, and then other DEXs and AMMs to get a far better sense for like how many of these contracts are what's pushing the median ETH transfer fee up, right? And bringing the gas price up there. I mean, if that's the median price at $27.50, then yeah, it's a kind of an expensive day. So guys, we cannot let ourselves be complacent by just looking at CoinGecko and whatever their estimate is. It's not 16 way, right? It's just not. That's not the real world number. TX Street is a much better source for you. Again, links in the description, guys. Tonight, I'm doing, for the first time, making sure that everything that I show you, every tool that I use, that it's just one click away by being in the description, right? A link to everything that we go over in the description. So, yeah, we're pretty much, you know, opening the kimono, right, so to speak. I don't want to make it weird. I don't possess any specialized knowledge here. Just been, you know, it's time in the market, right? Not timing the market. I've maybe been around this stuff for a little longer than some folks in the audience, maybe. And you know, I'm handy as like a VJ, right? Like on the mic, whatever. So just want to share what I'm looking at and share it as fully as possible with you. We're going to have those links on every single video moving forward, so that you're not like, you know, what was that tool he was looking at? Can I read the top of the screen? No, the link's right there. You can just click through and use it yourself at your leisure anytime you need to, so you can get a better sense for what the data says for you. So anyway, that's our TX Street overview right there. Guys, on Fiat Leak, I want to take a quick look at Bitcoin just to see where it's going, or if it's going anywhere in the world right now. It takes a little while to load up. It's a very slow front end. You can see that really slow frame rate. I'm actually broadcasting at 60 frames a second, and you see how choppy this is. This site is not super optimized, but it is super useful, so I like taking a look at it. If I scroll down just a little bit, you can see the primary currencies that are coming, that are being poured into Bitcoin, right? In the States, we're trading dollars. In Japan, they're trading yens. And right here, you can see how much that steady stream of US dollars is that's going into Bitcoin. Rather, how much fiat money of US dollars is leaking out in exchange for Bitcoin. But the other two really big currencies, maybe even just as strong or possibly even stronger than the euro, would be the Korean won and the Japanese yen. The Korean won is extremely strong. As you can see right there, that stream coming out of it. Lots of Korean won flowing into Bitcoin. Also, there you go, Brazilian real as well. So pretty awesome. Brazilian real, gosh, Brazilians, guys, just real talk. Every Brazilian I've ever met has just had such an incredible sense of industry, just hard work, focus. They keep their eye on the ball. Just very serious people who know how to relax and have fun too, right? They're always mischaracterized as being like lazy or whatever. That's not my experience of Brazilian people. And if you know Brazilian people, then you'll know too. This doesn't shock me to see that the Brazilian real is pouring into Bitcoin, and that Brazilian business people and retail investors and just people who are serious about cryptocurrency are buying Bitcoin with Brazilian real. Anyway, so this is a great overview, right, guys? Let's take a quick look also at Ethereum. I should be able to just type it right in, just as ETH. So ETH right here. And hey, first off, welcome to, we went past 2222 on Ethereum. We missed that. That would have been fun to like hit an air horn or something live on the air. That would have been cool. But anyway, Zotrak also says Brazilians are fit AF. LOL. You know, I agree, man. It's a very image oriented culture. The ladies are in extremely good shape and they know it. And the guys just are in extremely good shape and they know it too, right? Like there's no lack of ego, we'll say, but there's a strong emphasis on personal development too, and physical culture. So yeah, crazy fun, enraging but awesome place, right? Just mixed emotions about Brazil. So US dollars are where it looks like the majority of the ETH is going right now, but then there's also, right, Korean won. Lots of Korean won, not nearly as much euro going into that, and then plenty of No, it looks more like pounds, right? Great Britain's pounds going into it, maybe some rubles as well. You guys, Ethereum is extremely popular in former Eastern Bloc countries, in Russia, in Ukraine, and in former Soviet countries. I think largely because there are a lot of mining pools operated there. There's a lot of mining software that's built out of some of those countries. And so GPU mining, I mean, like, guys, HiveOS, the team that originally asked me to do the training videos that they wrote, right? We co-wrote it with the HiveOS management team a few years ago. They're in Ukraine. I mean, these guys are absolute egghead, like rocket scientists, cosmonauts. They are so freaking brilliant, and they help so much in this space. That tends to be a bit of a legacy of that area of the world as well. So I'm not shocked to see a lot of Ethereum being bought with rubles. So yeah, not a shock there either. But US dollar is just ruling the day, right? So Ethereum is just the US dollars are flowing big time there. But that's Fiat Leak, guys. Another phenomenal tool. I'm going to see if we can just look at one more data point here. I might need to type it all the way out. Nope. It looks like I have to give it just its ticker symbol, but XMR. We'll go with Monero here. Hey, and welcome back to Monero that costs, that is valued at over 200 US dollars per coin. Looks like we're only tracking USD and Euro here, and it looks like kind of an even split. And this must be from centralized exchanges too. All right, so catch up on some of these comments here as well, guys. Looks like we got some comments about culture coming out of Brazil, and guys, you need to know that I can't repeat that kind of stuff on air, which is really frustrating because of the way that stuff is monitored here. Totally policed here on this platform, all the content. It's like, oh, nope, that's wrong. Stop. Like, you can't think those thoughts. I can't say those words, but just know, I agree with you, largely. A lot of the comments there. It's all right. It's okay, guys. I mean, I want you to be able to speak your mind. Really, the YouTube channel might not be long for this world. We might have to go somewhere else at some point in the future. Not today, though. I just have to kind of, mind my P's and Q's. So here we are. Yeah, watching Monero go to different sides of the world. There's not a whole lot of volume there. Clearly, the action is in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Could be with some other tokens as well. Not really sure that we're going to see a whole lot of activity here, right? Seeing, dang, the only 4 currencies here for 1-inch token is, the pound, the dollar, the euro, and the won in Korea. Did you guys see that coming? I didn't see that coming. Clearly, yikes. I got to get in touch with my friends over at Samsung. They're still my global master trainer friends at Samsung. We got to do some more digging, some more deep investigation of, what's going on in Korea. That's kind of cool. All right, so guys, this is Fiat Leak, though. No, this is just another tool that we can use. Let's go to What's a Mine, go to our top of the line cards, 3090, 2080 Ti, 1660S, and 1080 Ti. We're moving back up to 14 cents per kilowatt hour, and we're also going to go to 7 days average for both profitability and difficulty for revenue. Why am I doing that? I'm doing that because I really do think that the best practice in terms of planning what your mining strategy is to mine the averages. Even though you might get faster payouts, it's still really not a very good long-term plan to do high-frequency coin switches. And especially when you're dealing with coins like Ethereum that have really high network difficulty and really long payouts, it winds up causing you grief because you can get past one payout threshold and then maybe get in by about 10% to the next payout threshold and then miss out because you tried to switch coins too fast. So you may have some Ethereum waiting for you on a mining pool that you only are about 10% of the way into the mining pool reward for, the payout threshold for. And if you don't go back to it, they're not yours, right? You basically forfeit those coins when you trade algos too fast or when you switch coins too fast. So it really is a much better plan to try to just mine the averages. It's a bit like dollar cost averaging, right? It's just far easier to do unless you have a very heavy hitting facility. You've got like 5 gigahash or more, which is not huge, right? It's not massive, but it's enough, right? 5 gigahash is plenty so that you should be able to hit those payout thresholds a little bit faster. Just throwing that out there. And I know that'll date this video a lot, but whatever. We're talking about the news and the current news cycle anyway, so no worries. All right, so that's why we're going with the model that we're going with. I just want to practice what I preach, or preach what I practice. This is kind of what I actually do, is I look at the averages. So going down the list, hey, mining profits are up for Ethereum, and it's 1318 across all those cards, with about half that going to the 3090. Ravencoin is a distant second, very distant second. We're looking at almost $4 less. And then Zano coming in after that, again, because of that ProgPow algorithm that they use, right? KawPow and then ProgPow Z. And then Ethereum Classic is coming in fourth, but it's really not that much lower than Zano. Not a whole lot lower than Zano. So these three are kind of in contention, really. We've been talking about this for a couple days, guys. These three are the coins to look at: Ravencoin, Zano, and Ethereum Classic. Why? Because they got the trading volume and they've got the value, right? They've got the market cap, they've got the daily trading volume, and they have the use case, really, all three, and they're different use cases. We talked about it yesterday. We'll talk about it more a little later on. All right, so that's our top of the line for Team Green. Let's go to our value and efficiency play with the XX60 lineup, including the 1660, the 1060, 2060, and 3060. Calculate for that average. And across all four cards, we're looking at $6.11. Deadwood says, smash the thumbs up, folks. You know what? I agree. Good man. Hit that thumbs up, guys. Thanks so much. All right, so 611 is our top of the line there. About $1 less for Ravencoin, and almost 20 cents less for Zano. And then for our native asset, the number 4 is way far down on the list with Ethereum Classic. Clearly, the ProgPow numbers are just far more high performance than the ETH numbers. That's crazy to me that we're seeing over $1 drop, almost $1.50 drop. No, not quite, but $1.30 drop to that next one. Nuts. So Ravencoin and Zano, really good options for your high efficiency and value Team Green cards. I don't think that I saw that coming, guys. I think we kind of seen a trend towards this just a little bit, but with Ravencoin, if there's an option that maybe you feel strongly about, I'm not telling anybody to feel any kind of way about Zano or about Ravencoin, but we keep seeing Zano pop up, right? So if you haven't looked at it, I think this is kind of your wake-up call. It's kind of my wake-up call. We need to pay attention to this coin. It's not going away, and it hasn't failed. So really, we should be paying attention to it. All right, so that's the value and efficiency play on Team Green. Moving to the bottom of the list on Team Red, R9380. Let's take a look to see what happens with that 14-cent power over 7 days. And yep, it's Ethereum Classic at 35 cents per day. That's amazing. It's not even close with Ravencoin or with Zano or with anything else on that card. You're kind of stuck doing Ethereum Classic. That's what I'm telling you. Right? You could go to NiceHash, but why? Why would you do that? Right? You're going to get 7 cents more per day, which at this rate, that's a lot, right? And if your cost per power is even cheaper, it doesn't matter, right? When you're looking at only like $1 in profit per day, or less than $1 in profit per day, every single cent counts, right? It's more than 1% when you only have 85 cents per day. It's weighted more heavily. So I think Ethereum Classic definitely is the way to go for that card. The R9 Fury, right? HBM card with a much older core architecture. First generation HBM doing killer work on Ravencoin, absolutely hitting above its weight. And then Zano, 73 cents per day, so over almost 15 cents below Ravencoin. It's very clear that you're going to want to be doing Ravencoin with that card. Ethereum Classic at 57, and then Beam still on the list, neck and neck with Ethereum Classic. So if you have a much stronger belief in Beam, you might want to go that route. Hey, we see Sinister Silverado in the comment section. Thanks for stopping in and saying hello. And Sinister says, I'm lucky, 8 cents per kilowatt hour here in Louisiana. Hey, that's awesome. Sinister, you're doing great. Open up a warehouse, do a co-location facility. Also, I'm just kidding, because once we go back to the bear market, everyone will hate you because their equipment will all be stranded at your place. It's terrible when it happens, guys. And these things move in cycles. So it's like, if you try to do that now, it is just too late. You needed to do it like a year ago. But still, that's good to know. It's very good to know. Tell your friends, tell your family. Don't mine alone. It's like it's a bad habit. You don't drink alone. You don't mine alone. You bring people who you trust and who can look after you. All right. That is for our R9 Fury. Going to the 4 gig Polaris card, the 570. And, oh, you know what? I think we also, for the ETH, we need to go to 30.5. We actually have to modify that number there just so we know we get a more correct number. Ravencoin is not quite top of the stack. I think it's consistently the highest profit, but I don't think it's the highest profit for the most recent period. I think Ethereum Classic, as we see right there, 97 cents per day, is higher in profit, and in fact lower in power consumption, so it's less wear and tear on your cards, it's less total that you're paying, and it's more profit that you're bringing home. It's kind of the best of all three. And then with Ravencoin, it's 90 cents per day, but it's on that Ka Power, that variant of Prog Pow algorithm that is just burning up your card because it's maxing out the core, it's maxing out the memory, it's maxing out every single piece of silicon and every single circuit and diode and transistor and every single voltage regulator. Voltage VRM. There you go. You're taxing everything on the card, right? With Prog Pow, which is, I guess, supposed to be good, but for us as profit maximalists, 7 cents more per day on Ethereum Classic, that makes more sense to me. All right, Beam is still on the list as well at 57 cents per day, and then Zano is way farther down the list, which is a surprise to me considering that those Ka Pow numbers should indicate that we're going to get nearly similar profits for Zano on this card too, but clearly that's not the case. I don't know what's going on there. There must be something that we're missing. There's Ka Pow and there's Prog Pow. Ooh, it must be that Ka Pow has a special optimization that prevents us from getting the same performance on the raw Prog Pow, at least on this card profile for Polaris. I'm a little bit surprised by that. I've definitely seen, those cards do 13 mega hash or higher on Ka Pow, but I haven't measured them on Prog Pow directly. So now I'm kind of curious, and I kind of want to take a closer look. Not today, but soon. 8 gig Polaris cards. Let's calculate what our profits are there. Scrolling down the list, we got Ethereum all day, $1.59. Hex yes, that's amazing. Ravencoin at 87 cents or 86 cents per day. Ethereum Classic at 94. Both, under $1, not as attractive as being on Ethereum. I mean, especially with Ethereum pulling almost double the daily profit of Ravencoin. Beam is on the list as well, but pretty low. Same with Zano. There you go, guys. That's our Polaris card. Ethereum makes the most sense. Vega 56, HBM2 card, bottom of the line for HBM2. Ethereum at 268 per day, and then Ravencoin at 166, Ethereum Classic at 163, and Beam at just over $1. Prog Pow Z for Zano, just under $1, 85 cents. Not very impressive on that Vega 56. Top of the line Vega series card, a Vega Core with HBM2 would be the Radeon 7. Let's check out Radeon 7. At 14 cent power, we're looking at $5.50 per day. That's just amazing. Unreal. And then second for native asset is Ethereum Classic at $3.51, a full $1 cheaper per day in profit for Ravencoin. And then for Zano, another 41 cents lower than that. So there's just no case for anything other than Ethereum on that Radeon 7 today. I mean, if I knew anybody that has them, if anybody in the audience has those Radeon 7s, I mean, clearly, what else are you interested in other than Ethereum on your Radeon 7? I just wouldn't, I can't see anything else. Maybe you can help convince me of some other reason to mine something else, but it looks like Ethereum is the coin. So, all right, but just one guy's opinion, just looking at this one website. 5600 XT and 6800 XT, we'll combine those with 60% of the hash rate going to the 6800 XT and 60% of the profit going to it as well. Ethereum all day at $6.06, as well as Ravencoin at a full $1. Gosh, how much is that? That's 53.60 cents down from it. Ouch. No, $1.60 less per day. Gosh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm moving kind of slow. End of the day, pull up a little lemonade. There we go. Right is right. So $1.60 less per day on Ravencoin with those cards. And yes, this is split between the two cards with 60% of that going to the 6000 series card. Ethereum Classic, even lower than that. Beam Hash, even lower than that. It almost looks depressing, guys. Anything below Ethereum just almost doesn't look like it's worth mining on some of these Team Red cards. They're so great at like really pushing memory bandwidth. AMD's done that for so long. And I mean, like on the CPU side too, before they acquired ATI and had started manufacturing their own graphics in-house, they've always had this emphasis on memory bandwidth with things like on-die memory controllers and stuff. AMD is always really focused on pushing memory through. So the fact that Ethereum is a memory intensive algorithm has always made AMD shine, right? So this is not a shock, but I mean, clearly, if you want to do Ravencoin on this card when you're doing $1.60 less per day, fine, you do that. Anyway, guys, those are our GPU mining figures right there. Let's jump into our cost to mine one full Bitcoin, and we're going to start not with the Brains OS auto tuning. We're going to go with the Antminer S9. That's kind of our go-to, and also drop in 14-cent power. Clearly, because of the price of Bitcoin, the profitability has gone up. Now the minimum cost for electricity must be 15.1 cents to be profitable on the Antminer S9. But at 14 cent per kilowatt hour power, you're mining one full Bitcoin at 32,000 US dollars, getting it down to about 8 cents per kilowatt hour. That's kind of more in the range that I'm comfortable with. Set it for several days. Over $18,000, just barely over $18,000. And we'll talk a little bit about some validation for that approximate range in the next little while. I've got some input from a well-known crypto trader who is just phenomenal, knows their stuff way better than I do. And I wanted to bring up some of their show notes. They missed another live stream performance somewhere else, but then they published their show notes on Twitter. So I want to bring those up and talk a little bit about this later on. But I think $18,000 acquisition for Bitcoin, that makes sense to me if you're going to be mining on an ASIC. So there you go. Take that with a grain of salt. But I see that as being the sweet spot. If you're mining it for more than that amount, you might be unhappy at some point during this cycle. Going to the MicroBT M20S, which is our other model, the other model that we always check in on. At 8 cent power, you're mining one full Bitcoin for 10.5 grand. So much better, right? $8,000 out the price of that one full Bitcoin just by changing hardware profiles. And even at 14 cent per kilowatt hour power, you're back to what you would acquire one full Bitcoin on the S9 using 8 cent power. It's just a no-brainer, guys. In my mind, just a no-brainer. If you've got the older profile cards, you got to move them to cheaper power or fully renewable power, or like something on a property that you own, right? Some hydroelectric or some geothermal or something that you know that you can run for free, right? Or if you live in a really windy area, right, you can do wind turbines too. Whatever it is you need to do. But as it is right now, if you're buying from the grid, the S9 is starting to show its age. Finally starting to. It's still profitable, but I don't think you'll be very happy with the price that you get your Bitcoin at right now. Now, I'm also not saying go out and get new hardware. Just saying that the S9 it's an old ASIC. Nobody really expected them to last this long, but here they are. So that's our cost to mine one full Bitcoin. Let's jump into our portfolios on CoinGecko. And top of the portfolio, the first side of the portfolio, we always start with our GPU mineable coins. RenBTC and Wrapped Bitcoin. Did they break through? Not quite yet. They're still below $1,000, but our wrapped representations of Bitcoin are still carrying the portfolio. Our 24-hour change is over $500 in profit, but our total P&L since starting this portfolio is still negative 29.77. So we're not doing great, right? We started when the price was significantly higher, and we've been ranging sideways with Bitcoin since that point. And it's been, we haven't caught a break yet, guys. We haven't caught a break in the price action of these coins. Even though we did this really broad basket of coins in this portfolio, we haven't gone positive yet. People who say that you absolutely must hodl, well, we're seeing the effects of hodling versus knowing how to do it, execute at least some basic trades, or at least mitigate some risk through pegging to stable coins. So just saying. Not going to tell you to do high frequency trading or leverage trading or anything like that. Nothing irresponsible, but clearly these are the fruits of just hodling your way down with price action going negative. So Wrapped Bitcoin, And then Ethereum in third place, really second place, over $900. Hey, we got Vorn in the house. Welcome, Vorn. He says, bah, hodling only. No. He's saying bah humbug. I say bah humbug to you, sir, in whatever language you prefer me to say it in. Anyway, back to the portfolio. We got Matic Aave interest-bearing wrapped ETH still doing pretty well. It's just below $900. Zano is not too far behind it. Ravencoin is below $800. Ethereum Classic pretty close to it as well, holding their value kind of neck and neck, holding what appears to be a more organic trend and a more organic formation of price there, movements. And yeah, it just kind of an interesting thing to see. Ethereum Classic also coming back pretty strong over the last 7 days, right? 17.5% up. Bottom of the list is still Haven. It's still below $4. In fact, it's dipped back since yesterday. It's retraced since yesterday. Anyway, just saying, not telling you what to get, not telling you what to buy. I'm just going to keep saying that in my estimation, Haven at this price is probably still a really good entry point. It's probably still a really good buy. CTO Larson, who runs a YouTube channel, also is a big time believer in Haven, in the mission of Haven, and me too. I think it's got a really great vision, really great mission, and if they can pull it off, then this is a great price to acquire them at, because when they were riding their highest highs, they were scratching the surface of $30 per coin. We're 90% down, almost 90% down since that time, since all-time high, and yeah, I think it's a really great project to look at, right? The fact that it's still maintained that very low position there. BitTube and Swap have changed positions here, but they're both, frankly, still struggling, right? They're over 45% down. Ergo, still 45% down. Market cap is still really, really high, and I'm sure that the volume and the trading volume is probably going to make that okay in terms of contributing to that project. So if you still believe very strongly in it, who knows? Maybe it can come back stronger. Maybe. Firo also making the news, but I'm not really sure how that's going to be reflected in price. Firo has it's struggled to come back to all-time high for a long time. So we got it on the list, but I don't foresee it moving very fast or going anywhere in the stacked ranking very fast. Hard drive mineable coins. Our 24-hour change, we're almost $300 up, which is awesome, but our total P&L is still down by 20.5%. Better than yesterday, though. And this has kind of been the gem of our portfolio, right? The different sides of our portfolio. Hard drive mining coins, they've really held their value overall. However, this portfolio, I think, is largely carried by MadeSafe, right? It's still up 66%. Everything else is in the red everywhere across our portfolio. But that day that we took that snapshot in this paper portfolio, MadeSafe coin went up 66% since that time. So it's doing phenomenally well and carrying our portfolio. Chia, on the other hand, has done nothing but dip. It's done nothing but dump and move downward, unfortunately. We thought that we'd find relief somewhere around $600 or maybe $500 with Chia. No, not so. We didn't even find relief at $300. Here we are, and after hitting $200, the beatings just keep coming, right? It's at 187 for Chia, and it's maintained its dead last position for some time, still at almost 77% down. So don't know what it'll take for that to reverse, but the 7-day is also pretty bad for that coin right now. Sia coin is in our second to last position, but even at that, you see it's 37 basis points ahead of Chia in terms of that, like to help characterize that. 37% better performance for that second place. So it's a distant second place. And then Filecoin and Signum, they're both, looks like they're recovering a little better. Signum doing a little better in the last 24 hours. So whatever we saw yesterday is clearly correcting itself. All right, guys, that's our hard drive mining side of the portfolio. CPU mineable coins, we've just got these four. We're up $158 over the last 24 hours, but our total P&L is still negative 26.73. Raptorium still top of the list. Monero still second place. Raptorium, however, has broken through the $1,000 mark. So great job, Raptorium team. See that upward trend there, but there's really tall spikes there. So that little top right there coming back down in finding that support down below and maintaining that upward trend line in that support channel, or in that upward channel right there at that lower support line. Just whoop, very clear clear trend line there. So those little breakouts upward are awesome, but it's clearly already on its way up. Monero, similarly, on its way up. Veriscoin, similarly, still doing this weird Mesa thing. It's not a spike per se. They're not heads and shoulders. These are something else. They don't look organic. They don't look natural. I'm still not sure what to make of that, but it's in third place. Monero, still dead last, and still over 30% in the red. So not really sure what's going on there, but Monero is really low. Perhaps once they move to solo mining, it'll be a really good play just for your mining efforts on CPU, just to try out solo mining on RandomX. But it looks like right now, Monero is not... I apologize. I'm going to get somebody from the Monero team all riled up, and they're going to attack me on Twitter or something. Whoa! Oh my gosh! Sam, with the super chat? Bruh! It's a gift super chat. It says super effective. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Sam, that was so generous. In fact, that was almost too generous. Thank you. Not too generous. You're awesome. Appreciate that. So guys, looking at the portfolio here though, Monero, they're going to kill me for saying it. It's not the coin you invest in. It's not a coin you trade. It's the coin you mine, right? So the fact that the values are up, we make a portfolio entry like this in the real world by mining, right? In our spare time. When we've got some CPU cycles on some GPU mining rigs that we just want to try out RandomX with. And so we use RandomX on some of those rigs, and you pick up some Monero, and you throw it into a calculator like this, and you track its price, and you go and you be supportive and you post the memes and all that. But it's not the coin that you're like, you know what, Monero's gonna hit $1. Yeah, Wall Street Bet says that Monero's gonna be $1. What do you think of that? GameStop could have done it. If they didn't stop us, if there wasn't interference, that's not what you do with Monero, right? Monero, you go cop some because you're mining. End of story. Simple as. But yeah, that's the case for this side of the portfolio, guys. CPU mining coins are doing okay, better than our GPU mining coins, but not by a whole lot. And then ASIC coins. Woo! We're up $182 overall the last 24 hours, but our total P&L is down 28%. Still way down. Horizon still at the bottom of the stack, though it is climbing back up. Pirate Chain still in second to last place, though it is climbing back up. And then top of the list, top winner still Decred at almost $1,000, so it's doing really well. And I'm not really sure what the news is with Decred that has gotten it so high, gotten it to perform so well. It's pretty amazing stuff. I'm really excited to see that there's a coin that's doing so well, but I don't know the story there. We're going to talk a bit about vetting the right sources to get some of the background story on some of these other coins in just a minute as well. So I guess I'm glad you're here with me tonight. So stay tuned. There's some additional links down in the comments section or down in the description of this video that will show you how to find the sources for some of the coins that matter right now. And I think that you really need to keep your finger on the pulse of these. We're going to talk about what I'll be doing to make sure it's more visible as well. All right, so those are our portfolios. We've got a little bit of info here to make sense of, to make sense for ourselves of what's been performing well, maybe what we might want to individually cut or cull from our portfolios. Let's take a quick look at miningpoolstats.stream. And before we do that, guys, let me ask, well, first off, we got a patron who submitted a super chat. Sam, let me know down in the comment section, live comments, what coin you'd like me to take a look at the net hash for, so we can figure out where it's being mined, which pools we should maybe mine to, and what the network difficulty is for those coins. But I'm gonna give you 30 seconds there to let us know which coin you want us to take a look at over at Mining Pool Stats. And then anybody else is welcome to throw out some coins as well, but we'll be taking, letting Sam take priority there. I don't make the rules, guys. This is a live stream, and Sam did a super chat. I mean, those are the rules. I'm pretty sure those are the rules. Anyway, so yeah, let me know what coin you want me to take a look at over here on miningpoolstats.stream, and we will check that out. We might have to jump back to it, but while we're waiting for that to come in, guys, these are your news sources. This is Ethereum Classics blog, or essentially their news side of the website. It's just ethereumclassic.org/news. It's that simple. They've got blog articles and media links, and they've got a history that goes way back 6 years because they've been around that long, right? They've been keeping track of their development for that long. So, yeah. Hey, you know what, Sam? I'm so sorry. I said him. That was so insensitive. I assumed your gender, Sam. Yeah. I accept my apologies. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to, oh my gosh. I'm thinking about, like, there's got to be a German word for this, right? There's a German word for everything. There's a German word for the moment when you're like, oh, did I totally presume that person was not what I thought? At any rate. Nani? That works, Kay. That's probably the soundboard item that we deserve today. I know Kyle's like facepalm, bro, right? So here we go. Guys, these are and you know what else, Sam? You totally break my metrics. That's great. That's great. Do you realize how many dudes tune into mining channels? Sorry, how few women tune into mining channels? It's not about how many dudes there are. It's like basically 100% on most mining channels. Pretty much. Like, it may well be. Anyway, thank you. Thank you for breaking up the Manani. We're boring. So, these are the news sources, though, guys. If you want to know what's going on, you got to go to the right sources. You can't go to third parties. You can't go to CoinDesk, obviously. You can't go to CoinGeek, obviously, because they're owned by Calvin Ayre, and you're going to get all like BSV-oriented stuff. Dang! Holy crud! Did we lose like half of our stream? I scared some people away by detouring there, guys. Yikes! Okay. Anyway. So you got to go to the right news sources, guys. CoinGeek is in part owned by Calvin Ayre's group, and so it's basically it basically exists to shill BSV. And CoinDesk has its problems too. Coin Potato, being in crypto trust nodes that I had to kind of drag a little bit today because they covered the Uniswap news and totally got it wrong. There's so many sources for crypto news that unfortunately get it very wrong. You got to go to the right sources. So when it comes to these coins that we've been talking about today in tonight's episode, go directly to their blogs. Go directly to their documentation. It's not always really heavy-duty documentation. Sometimes it really is just checking out their blog articles. And they will often put it into plain English, like an Eli 5, right? Explain like I'm 5 type language, so that it's not too difficult to figure out what is going on with development for their coin. So media links as well will let you know what third parties are saying about the coin and about the developments. Again, big shout out to Serpent X Special Forces, who covered the Magneto fork of Ethereum Classic, which basically integrates the Berlin update of Ethereum into Ethereum Classic. So now Ethereum Classic has inherited anything that is good from the Berlin update on Ethereum. But here's the thing. Sources like this will tell you, they'll let you know. You'll have an idea of what's coming up on the roadmap. You won't be confused by, like, for example, I'll give you a really bad example. You won't be confused by the Ravencoin blog, which is not actually Ravencoin's blog. It's Tron Black's blog. And yes, Tron is the lead for Ravencoin, but this is his blog. It's not actually the Ravencoin blog. Let me jump back, though, here on to the Ravencoin blog. There is a Ravencoin outlet on Medium, but there's literally only one post, which is kind of like the announcement post, which may as well just live over on bitcointalk.org. So this is a little bit of a criticism that I have for the Ravencoin PR machine or media machine. It's kind of weird that it's just Tron talking about it on Medium, and then there's not like community-oriented outreach effort, right? There's a community-oriented blogging effort or media effort to let people know exactly what's going on with Ravencoin outside of just Tron talking about it. Tron's a cool guy. I've met him on a couple of occasions. Super cool guy. Love the guy to pieces. Very outgoing, very generous with his time, extremely, extremely intelligent. Which is why I would think that he'd want somebody else to do the blogging, that he wouldn't want to do that in addition to all the other stuff he does. So anyway, just kind of weird. So this is his blog, and kind of some updates here. There's some stuff coming out in the Ravencoin development path that for me, I don't feel very good about, right? So right here, being able to trade a synthetic asset not on Ethereum, but on Binance Smart Chain. Like, they totally skipped over having an ERC20 token issued for Ravencoin, and they went straight over to the Binance version of it. Kind of weird, isn't it? I mean, it's not even a proof of work chain, and that's where you can trade Ravencoin on a DEX or on an AMM. So there's a couple of things here that I just don't totally follow, but everything that you need to know about Raven is here. right? You can see this for yourself. You can definitely find what you need about the development path for Ravencoin here on Medium in Tron Black's blog. So whether or not I'm happy with the direction of development, that's immaterial, right? You need to be able to do your own research. This is one way that you can do that, is by following this blog. And then another project that's worth following, which we don't often mention. So Dan, if you're in the audience, yeah, now's your time to shine. Chill, right? Lay it on thick. But Flux, guys, Flux, great project, really great project. And they've got an official Medium outlet as well. That should be down in the description. The link is down in the description, so you can check out what's going on there. And Flux has done some pretty amazing things by way of running decentralized infrastructure for other projects. So anyway, it bears mentioning. And then also on Medium is the Zano blog. We have been talking about them over the last several days. They keep turning up, right? As far as a good coin to mine as an alternative to Ethereum when Ethereum stops allowing us to earn block subsidies through proof of work and miner extracted value and fees and all the other through proof of work. Zano will be one of those options. And guys, you heard me talk about it the last couple of days. Here's some unique benefits to each one of them. Ravencoin, awesome, right? Awesome at doing what it does. Those limited assets that you can create for yourself. I created some assets in my Ravencoin holdings that are fun, and they're unique to me. They're totally unique to me. Nobody else can have them. I claim them first. That's fun. And it was really simple to do inside of the wallet interface. But then there's Ethereum Classic, right, that functions like Ethereum. It is an EVM compatible chain that lets you permissionlessly swap things in a DEX, right? Or we can totally fork Uniswap and have it just run, or have it include the Ethereum Classic network in addition to like Polygon and others, right? The same way that 1inch lets you trade across Ethereum and Matic, there's no reason that we can't have a Uniswap that is available for like Ethereum Classic. So oh my gosh, we got some crazy comments going on here, guys. Should I address the comments, or should I keep on my little tirade here? We're going nuts here. Anyway, there's unique value to all these different coins. You guys know how distractible I am. It's so bad. It's so bad. I probably need medication. It's probably true that I need medication. I seriously just get by on like green tea and a lot of exercise. That's like what keeps me going. Anyway, so Zotrak is saying short squeeze is happening right now. You know what? It's in everybody's interest for me to just jump over to here, this chart. Let's take a look. Dang! Good Lord! Yeah. Holy cow. And there's that volume. You guys have been waiting for it. We've been waiting for it. There it is. Oh my gosh. That volume was not there. It wasn't there before. I didn't believe it, right? I couldn't bring myself to believe in the price action before because we didn't see the volume backing it up. But there it is, gosh darn it. It's right there. Oh my gosh. We wicked up to 40K. Oh. Oh my gosh. That is crazy. Okay. Oh my goodness. And yeah, I'm using the free version of TradingView right now, guys. I'll go to the paid version in a minute. Like it's not a priority. I've got some other stuff that I actually pay for that is more valuable to me. But dang. Okay, there it is. There it is, guys. And those Bollinger Bands, I was going to make a joke about the Bollinger. You see the Bollinger Bands there in blue? I made our 250-day moving averages. I made them sort of purplish there and orange, so we could just get blue for the Bollinger Bands. And I was going to make a joke about how we got sort of the sphincter formation on the Bollinger Bands right here, like the end of the long, the little intestine right there, of the large intestine right here. Like we've got a little squeeze right there, and we needed something to happen. Right, we needed something to happen to get things moving. Good grief! Yeah, I just did. I used scatological talk on the middle of a mining live stream. I'm sorry, not sorry. You know what you were signing up for. All right, so oh my gosh, you guys, that is unbelievable. It's unreal. Okay, so here's something from Crypto Cred on Twitter. Let me pull this up, and I'll just kind of show you my screen here. CryptoCred was supposed to be on Trader Main's show tonight, but they weren't able to make their show work. And then he posted his notes here. Pretty darn cool. And I mean, he was calling it right now. He said, current setup has failed acceptance through a boundary. Generally, your target is on the other side of the range. 38 to 40K. Bro, he called it. He called it. When? That's 2 hours ago. That's local time. 2 hours ago. He called it. And that wick right there, guys, I'm on the 2 hour chart. So, yeah. He called it right here. Said, yeah, we're probably going to go to 38, 40K. Boom. What do? Candle up to 30, 38, wick up to 40. That guy's good. That guy's really good. Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't believe that. And I just wasn't sure because I was going to bring it up before. So go over some of what this guy's saying right now, because looking at it, we're not going to make that candlestick move, right? We're not going to push the candlestick up to 40K where the wick was, right? That's not going to happen in this live stream. We're not representing enough of the trading volume to do anything to it, right? But we can take a look at some of this and kind of understand it a little bit better. And what CryptoCred is saying is zoom out, market in a 10-week range. Yeah, and we've been saying that for a while, right, guys? So just like we will zoom out, right? So we'll take a look at that. That has been the range. We acknowledge that. And the prior 10 weeks was higher, yes, of course. And then prior to that, it was lower for several weeks. So yeah, we've been in that 10-week range for a while, which is totally agreed. Top side break failed. Bottom side break failed. Price now near balance. So buy support, sell resistance. Yeah, guys, and I just kept it simple. I just have an auto DCA where I'm like, okay, I'm really okay. I'm really okay with this. Sure, yeah, it'd be great if I could, trade the chop, so to speak. I don't feel like I have those skills. I don't feel like I have that confidence to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to buy right at 30K. I'm definitely going to sell at 40K. If I were more aggressive about it, that clearly would have worked here, right? You could have bought 30K here. You could have bought 30K here. You could have bought 30K here, here, and here. So what is that? 6 opportunities to buy at 30K this entire time. Selling at resistance or on its way back down from that top point, you could have sold 39. You could have sold 38. You could have sold 38. You could have sold 40. You could have sold 35, which would have felt weird, right? With that little double top there at 35. And you could have sold 36, and you could have sold 35, and you could have sold 34. But again, weird range, right? Where it didn't retest that support line down below. So would you have sold it? I don't think I would have. I wouldn't have been like, yeah, you know what? This is definitely for sure. I should sell this because it's definitely not going any higher, right? Like, man, I don't have that kind of conviction for this. I talk about selling and trying to trade instead of holding, but let's be real. You look at these charts, and when we're living those movements up and down, living those formations, we're like biting our fingernails off. It's nerve-wracking. It's really scary, right? So unless you have got a bit of practice and you've got the mindset to handle that and a few better tools, it's a scary proposition. So anyway, clearly, yeah, you would have had those opportunities, but bouncing downward here and in that channel, I just erased the channel that we had drawn there as well. Looking at that channel, I wouldn't have been thinking like, oh yeah, well, I'm saying that now. Let's go ahead and redraw that channel. Redrawing that channel with a new support line and then a new resistance line. I think right there, that top resistance line right there, we probably could have just figured that out for a little while, but still, it's like it's trading chop. That's freaky. That's scary. And that breakout way up the way we just saw, we couldn't have seen that. We couldn't have known. Like, you wouldn't have guessed that because the volume down here didn't justify it, right? And now, dang, we just got our faces totally melted off. Jeez. Casual mining saying 59 Gwei right now on Etherscan. Let's check out TX Street also. See where we at. 57 right there. We're not even done with this block yet. Yeah. And median 58.3. Jeez, my Telegram is blowing up right now, guys. People like I get a couple private Telegrams, and among like inner circle, whatever, just friends, and yeah, dude, it's like we're an ant colony that just had a giant magnifying glass put over it, right? We're like, what's going on? What's going on in the Bitcoin price? This is crazy. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Jeez. Okay, so Sinister says in the comments section, I'm not a trader, just hodl. And here's the thing, I can't disagree with that. Acquisition in that dollar cost average range that I've been talking about, I felt pretty good about it, right? In that sideways range. Looking through here, again, this channel, this 10-week range, I've been comfortable dollar cost averaging at approximately $35,000. And that's validated right now. Right? Like dollar cost averaging works. And 5 years from now, when we go through another halving cycle on Bitcoin, we're very likely to see another massive leg up. It could be that it's a bit like the rainbow chart where we're starting to like level off in that Bitcoin price over time. Even if it kind of starts to level, dang, now my phone's blowing up with all the different apps and stuff. Jeez. Oh, unreal, guys. I'm so glad I decided to stream tonight, or that I've been doing this every night now. And that's my commitment, guys. I want to be doing this every single night. There's no reason not to, right? Like in this current market, we need this kind of info. We need this kind of like broad amount of info across the board. We can't ignore any side of it. Oh my gosh. Peter Schiff. Peter Schiff is the perfect bottom indicator too. He's the perfect indicator, right? Counter indicator. He tweeted today like, ooh, making fun of Bitcoin. Every time he makes fun of Bitcoin, it goes parabolic, basically. Or it has that like really gnarly wick up, like 20% up. Whenever Peter Schiff literally, and I said it on Twitter. Let's go ahead and find it now. Oh my gosh. Okay, so on my profile on Twitter, let me get this guy pulled up. So, barely posted this, but he says, every time I tweet about Bitcoin and read 3 hours ago, right before that candle, right before the time frame that we're looking at on our chart. He says, every time I tweet about Bitcoin, hashtag Bitcoin, right? So he's more discoverable, and read the completely ridiculous replies from Bitcoin fanatics. He said it twice now. It only reinforces my confidence that my criticism is valid. In every bubble, participants say crazy things to justify price, but none as crazy as what's being said about Bitcoin. This guy always says the word Bitcoin 3 times, with at least one of them being the hashtag so that it will trend, right? He's a clout chaser. And what's worse, I think he's lying. I think he and his son both have significant Bitcoin holdings that are just not very public. They're either held through some corporations that they own, or held in some other way, right? Through some kind of like instrument or some kind of like wealth, some kind of like wealth preservation instrument, like a trust or something. So I don't think he's being very genuine about that, right? Zotrak says his son's replies to him are so epic, but here's the thing, that I agree, but I think it's controlled opposition. I think it's all for show. I think it's totally BS. All of it is totally fake. I think all of it is totally fake. I think that Peter Schiff absolutely is a Bitcoiner secretly, but he sells so much educational material to gold bugs that he can't publicly say that. If he did, his paycheck would disappear, right? And he wouldn't have any dirty fiat to buy Bitcoin with. I think that there's something really seriously, I think that Peter Schiff is a far better trader, first off, than most people give him credit for. Again, when did he say this? Minutes before the run-up, minutes before the move. How did he know? How does he always know? Because his people are they're charting too. He's got some of the best people in the world taking a look at Bitcoin. How could he not know that this move was about to happen? How could he not know about the impending volume, right? Like, I got Sinister Silverado saying in the comment section, gold is so 15th century. Hey, I agree, totally. But there's still people making money on gold. And there's still people selling courses to you about how to make money on gold. Hey, who's one of those people who's selling courses about how to make money on gold? Yep, this joker. So, I don't get it. Yeah, I mean, it works, right? The controlled opposition, like you were saying, like his son's tweets are epic, right? He's always like clapping back at his dad, and we all laugh about it. And then he says like, oh, my son, he posted his son's QR code once on Twitter and said, oh, my son lost some of his Bitcoin. I knew he would lose it right away. And we all took a look into his wallets and we're like, he didn't lose Bitcoin. And people are sending him pity, like whatever, pity Satoshis right now and pity transactions. Like, it's kind of messed up. But if you go to Peter Schiff's website, we're going to do this live right now just because of this parabolic run up, right? This short squeeze going crazy. All right. Schiff Gold. I want to say it's specifically on Schiff Gold. Here's his website. Powerful case for silver. Golden. There you go. Can the government take away your gold? More about gold and gold. There he is, looking all Peter Schiffy. Oh, come on now. Come on now. Getting started. Okay, there's got to be... Come on now. Which one is this site? I don't think it's this site. I got to see which site it is because he's got, again, like these multiple different websites. No, this is just his podcast. Invest like Peter Schiff. No. Oh, good grief. This is going to drive me crazy, guys. It's going to drive me crazy. Yeah, Zotrak he gave away the punchline right there in the comment section. He accepts cryptocurrencies. Specifically, he accepts Bitcoin for his trading courses. The guy is he's like Lex Luthor. Do not underestimate Peter Schiff, right? He has, he's got a plan for when Bitcoin is valued at $1 million a coin. He absolutely has a plan for that. And I promise you, he has more Bitcoin than anybody you know personally, practically everybody you know personally combined, right? I promise you, he does not, he's not without exposure to Bitcoin. He's just, he's just playing the heel like in like an old WWE TV show. Anyway, but yeah, this formula mentioned Bitcoin 3 times, receive attention, rinse, repeat. There's nothing mysterious about what he does here. But back to CryptoCred saying, all right, so either outrightly fade at the level or after failed acceptance through a boundary, right? It seems like, okay, so you set a target, but if you see a move in the other direction, right, you see a reversal, buy or sell at the reversal. Current setup is failed acceptance through a boundary. That's his current setup. Generally, your target is the other side of the range, 38 to 40K. That's the target right now. Now, but he called it. It's going to happen tonight. And let's go back to, got to see the chart, man. Okay, we're already coming back down. There we go. Already come back down to 37. I cannot believe we caught that live. That is nuts. So, okay. I've also got a comment coming in from Zotrak saying, add your mouse to hover over the first site. No, not the free download. Can't be it. Yeah, there it is. Duh. Pay with cryptocurrency. It was right there. Good grief. Buying gold and silver with cryptocurrency. Well, who are they buying it from, Peter? Oh my gosh. And they're using BitPay no less. That's hilarious. Okay. Hilarious. I cannot believe it. Anyway, so yeah, Peter Schiff, not who he seems. He is absolutely a shark and he absolutely wants your Bitcoin because he knows how valuable it is. So don't believe for a second that he doesn't have any. But yeah, so back to CryptoCred. Saying mirror setup, i.e. failed breakout into failed breakdown, not exactly decisive. Now we're going to go over some of this. I'm going to try to start learning more from CryptoCred as well. There's so much to learn from this trader. I've got CryptoCred's channel open right now on YouTube. All the tools that you'd want to know available for free, right? These are not paid courses. It's pretty crazy what CryptoCred teaches here. And it's just a straight dope, right? It's just the charts with setups, talking about how they work, not trying to like pull you into a paid group or sell you anything. It's pure education. I'm totally blown away at how much value this dude gives away. But there you go. Market was drifting flat, not many catalysts. In my opinion, Alameda, right? So Alameda put in a bottom. Market was sensitive to catalysts in either direction. Double fakeouts are rare, so close through range will likely be decisive. So either if it's above 45 to 50K, and if it's below 14 to 20K. Guys, I think it's pretty obvious which direction we're headed. We're not headed towards 14, right? We're not headed towards 20. We're going up. And then he says, inferring new all-time high, dead forever based on this range is dumb. It can break and you can reasonably decrease exposure at 40 to 50 or increase your exposure at 14 to 20. Shorter term, you want to see funding stay negative, become more negative as price goes up. That's the prerequisite for a juicy short squeeze. But broadly speaking, you don't want to see a significant derivatives premium come back at resistance. Okay, so if we see GBTC, apparently, come back at a premium when we near that resistance level that he's talking about, then apparently that's a bad thing. Guys, here's the thing. I'm trying to learn about these markets more, and I'm trying to learn from people who are extremely accomplished and just know their stuff, right? I don't see any reason to learn from somebody who doesn't know their stuff, right? Who isn't wildly successful, right? So yeah, I'm gonna learn from somebody like this. But going back to the chart, guys, I'm still unreal. Let me go towards a slightly faster chart here, just because we're here. Let's take a look at the 1 minute. Oof. There's 38. And where did we actually... Oh, rejected at 40. Rejected at 40. I thought it was lower than that, but definitely, it was rejected. We're looking at a 1 minute chart. That's kind of insane. Jump back to 15 minute. And that kind of like makes more sense. It's a little more actionable, almost. Not quite. And then 30 minute, yeah. Let's, yeah, zooming out just the tiniest bit, it does look like we are still heading up. So, like Casual Mining is saying, supported 37.8, going up again. What time frame are you looking at, Casual Mining, on your chart to say that you think we're going back up from 37.8? No, I mean, it shows right there. Little what is that, hatchet, little tomahawk right there. Fixer saying Bitcoin and Chia rockets. I'm glad you're excited about Chia. That's cool. Oh man. Okay, so guys, this is not a live chart gazing show, so I should probably let you go, but man, exciting times. I have no other commentary about the market right now other than that I'm excited. Exciting times to be involved in cryptocurrencies. I'm so glad that I was dollar cost averaging during all of that range. I don't mind getting the extra exposure between 30 and 35, because here we are looking at 38 and with a possible very real breakout of the $40,000 channel we've been stuck in for a while. This looks about as real as anything else. And Casual Mining says, haha, I was on the 1 minute. The beehive has been kicked. Yeah, I can't live like that. I can't live like that, glued to a 1 minute chart. So guys, I'm going to let you go, but thank you so much for being subscribed. Thank you so much for hitting the bell icon, the thumbs up, all the buttons down below. Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate that, guys. It means a lot. We're so close to that next subscription level, like that we're trying to get to. That target is so important. I got to come up with a really, really good 10,000 subscriber giveaway, don't I? Here's the thing. If I make it too obvious and I talk about it too much, YouTube's going to shut me down, because that's what they do now. But we'll come up with something juicy, all right? So it could be something like a wallet, or it could be something like a laser engraved topper for your full node, your Bitcoin full node that you have your Raspberry Pi in. We could do something along those lines, something really, really fun. But I'll try to announce that sometime in the next week, guys. Thank you for being subscribed, sharing this channel. It means a lot. We're going to get there, guys. And clearly, within the markets, it's obvious. We're all going to make it. We're going to make it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to make it. Thanks for being subscribed. You're the reason I make this media. I love your face. Remember to stay private and mind your biz. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. If you want to be notified of videos like this in the future, first off, click subscribe, press the bell icon. Additionally, you can sign up for the Mine Your Biz email newsletter. That'll give you exclusive access to certain freebies, notifications for deals within the cryptocurrency mining space, as well as some of our flash sales for merchandise, which you can buy with cryptocurrency. That's right. It's the only cryptocurrency merch that you can buy with cryptocurrency. We practice what we preach. As always, thank you so much for watching. You're the reason I make this media. I love your face, and I will see you in the next one.
Thank you.